Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
Yay! Okay, so here's the video you guys didn't realize that you needed, but we think that you need, because when we did this before, all the comments were like, this is the one that I didn't realize I needed. So you are getting another breeding kink video. Yeah. So all of these books
convinced me to read this.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you guys were asking for it. So here we go again. So
Okay.
All of these books feature breeding with and without actual conception.
Also known as Jessica's faves.
A little bit. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. So before we get started with that, what do you want to tell them, Mandy?
All right. Well, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we are now on our road to 2K giveaway. We might need to workshop a new name. I don't know. But for now, we give away 3 books on our channel. So hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for fun giveaways.
Yay. Okay. Yeah, so we've established that I like this one. So let's just dive in with the Rex.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yes. Let me find my first one. Are you gonna? Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it, Jessica.
Go for it. So, shocker among shocker, the first book that I have is going to be Dark. And this is a Lauren Beale book. So again, shocker. Lauren Beale doesn't normally do breeding, but she did in this one. So this is Along for the Ride. This is one of her hitchhiking books. And this is about Lena and Gentry and Carson. So this is an MFM. And the guys are brothers. They don't really get along very well, but they're brothers. So the guys in this book are hired hitmen, and Lena is running from her drug dealing boyfriend. He's gotten her hooked on drugs and she got herself off of it. And then he realized, and so then he doped her back up and then she took off running. She manages, like, she pulls off on the side of the road. She's sick. She's dying. She's just, going through withdrawals. And Gentry and Carson are right there. They've been doing a job and they take her car and they take her at gunpoint with them on this crazy road trip. And when I say it's dark, I am not lying. This is dark. Check your triggers. But one of them has a breeding kink and he likes the idea of breeding her. And this one doesn't have pregnancy in it, but this one definitely has all the breeding in it. So go read it. Yeah. Personally, I prefer there to be pregnancy, but
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Well, my first book is going to be Daddy's Addiction by BJ Alpha. This is about Tommy. There's really no good way to describe Tommy other than he has really spiraled. And he orders women to come to his home for sex and stuff like that. So he pays for that. And this girl shows up. Well, a woman shows up in a schoolgirl uniform. And he's like, oh, they have outdone themselves this time. This is right there for me. And he grabs her and starts making out with her and is pretty much mauling her. When his butler comes and he's like, sir, this is your stepdaughter. So it's his stepdaughter. His wife has passed away. He's never met his stepdaughter. She's been off at boarding school this whole time. And his father has dealt with her. And that's one way to meet your stepdaughter, right? Well, let's just say that's not the only encounter they have because Daddy's addicted.
Daddy's addicted.
Mm-hmm. So it's a pretty quick, yes, a little more on the smutty feel, but still with solid plot. I really enjoyed it. It's a good, solid book. It's not just a smut fest.
And 99% of BJ's books in general include a breeding kink. All of them do. That's just what she does best. And so you can pick up any of BJ Alpha's books and get.
Well, there's an interesting new kink that she tried out in this book.
Waterproof mattress cover.
Yes.
That's all I got to say.
Bugs me. It really needed to be addressed.
Okay. Anyhow, that's great. Wonderful. Okay. So my next book is a trilogy. The first book in the trilogy is Claiming Vanessa, and this is by Raisa Donovan and Addison Wolfe. I just kind of flubbed those guys up real quick. So this is their Breeding Contempt trilogy. So this is about Vanessa. And Vanessa is kidnapped on her sister's wedding day. Her sister is supposed to marry this mafia don. They're from a mafia family. It's an arranged marriage situation. Well, these guys break in, guns a-blazing, and she gets kidnapped. We don't even know what happens to the sister. She's got her own set of books, but this is the breeding one. So she gets kidnapped by Giulio, who is the Don. His dad just died. He is the Don of another mafia group. And his right-hand man, his consigliere, who is Damien. And then eventually we see his little henchman Slayer show up. And I don't say little. I mean, like he's supposed to be hot. But anyhow, they take her because Damien wants to see Giulio as a father. And so they take her and keep her captive to breed her. And that is really what the books are about. There is plot. There is quite a bit of plot. These books are, I loved this story, but there is a lot of non-con. There's a lot of dub-con. There is a lot of like, we're just going to knock you up and I don't care what you think. And one of us will be the dad. Because, it's reverse harem with the three. Loved it. Loved it. I loved how unhinged Giulio was. Like unhinged as in cuckoo crazy. Not like crazy for his woman. He just did what he wanted, said what he wanted. But yeah, loved it. Go read it.
Oh my gosh,
it was so good.
You're like the definition of unhinged.
A little bit. And then you will love me for it. So it's all good. Okay, next. What you got next?
Okay. I have to say, I like that you're growing your bangs back out and shoving them to the side. You look more like my bestie again. It's a really rough few weeks.
You're funny. Okay, go.
Now you're going to be like, I have to get off here to get to my haircut for my bangs. Are you serious?
What?
You're getting your hair, you're going to cut your bangs short again?
No, I like them longer. I like to be able to brush them off if I want to.
Okay.
But
for a while, they weren't brushing like you normally.
No, they were too short.
It was a very different hairstyle.
Okay.
I'm glad to have you back.
Okay, I'm glad that you're having me back. Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, I read The Club Princess by B. Sobjankin. Hopefully that's how we say her name. This is a novella, but this left me wanting the whole book, like the next series, like the next book in the series. Totally love this. I know you read it too a while ago. So this is about Michaela, Gage, and Shaw. So she grows up in an MC. Her mom is, did her mom leave her with them or did she pass away? Her mom's out of the picture. I can't remember exactly why, but she's like out of the picture. And she is very sheltered from all the MC things. And it's her 18th birthday and her stepbrother and her stepfather forget. And so they feel really guilty. And she tells them there's only one thing she wants, which leads her to being with her stepbrother and stepdad. Things get crazy, but it's really good. And then there becomes some major breeding obsession for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds a little smutty, but it was really good.
Yeah, it was a short, fun read there. I too wanted more.
Yes.
I wanted a full-length novel. I wanted more of their story.
And
I
like
think she could have easily done that, but yeah.
Like I wanted to read the MC series that I felt like this was setting up for. So then when it's not, I was like, what?
Yeah, she just writes short.
Yeah.
Books in there. So, okay. All right. So the next book that I read this past week, and that is Possessing Eden by Izzy Sweet and Sean Moriarty. This is number 7 in the Disciple series. I don't think you need to read the books before you read this one. Just know that this is Mafia and you're good to go. So In this book, Eden is married. She got married young. She has a 9-month-old baby boy at home. And the man that she's married to is, he's a scrub, but he's a scrub that beats on her. So he is not a good guy. And she came from the wrong side of the tracks. Her mom was a prostitute. Her dad, she doesn't even know who her dad, her dad was a part of this crime syndicate, and her dad was killed. And her dad worked for her uncle. And so the uncle runs his own like greasy little crime syndicate. It's not the good kind that we want to be a part of. It's the icky kind, the nasty kind. So she goes to her uncle. She's on the run. She has no money. She's trying to get away from this guy. And she's like, I need a job. Well, come to find out, there is a job. He's reluctant to give it to her, but there is a job where she could go to one of the nightclubs that's just been bought by this mafia group and get information on these guys. And one of those guys is Jude, that they're looking for information. She doesn't know who's looking for it or what they want with it. Her job is solely to provide the information. And after a few weeks, Jude finally shows up. And when he sees her, he is like totally infatuated with her. And then later that night, she sees something she's not supposed to, and he corners her in an alley. And at that point, she's done for. She's his. So he decides that since she's his, he's going to keep her. And the only way to keep her safe in the mafia is to make her his woman and pregnant with his baby, so that she now has 2 babies. And that's where that comes in.
So I read Her Prison Pen Pal by Danny Wyatt. This is about Daphne and Dutch. Dutch goes to prison, and well, he's in prison when Daphne's brother gets kind of set up and sent to prison for something he didn't do. And they become friends in prison, and Dutch kind of protects him. And so Daphne starts writing to him, like, just to be kind of friendly, because like he's been good to her brother, and her brother gets out, and then Dutch gets out. So he comes to stay with them because they became such good friends. And so while he's there, he immediately sees Daphne, and he is like, I am in love. Like, he fell in love with her through her letters, and he wants her. And he's ready to put a baby in her right away. So we go, I mean, everything kind of happens fast, and that's what's going on. He says, I have a quote from the book. I think I might have shared this before, but I'm going to share it again. He said, this is from Dutch's point of view. Daphne smiles, and it feels like my balls fill with a pint of baby-making cream, ready to top off her womb with every drop. So not only does Dutch want to breed her and breed her right now, he is very poetic about it.
Wow, that's the case. My husband's quite the poet. Whoa. Okay. Anyhow. Okay. All right. So my next book is King by S.J. Telly. So this one does feature breeding in it. It's not as heavily.
I almost got that one too.
Did you?
I didn't. I almost did, yeah.
Yeah, it's not as heavily implied as it is in some of the other ones, but there is definitely breeding in this one. So this is about Savannah and King, and this is a crime syndicate. It's not mafia, but it's, you know, mafia adjacent. And Savannah has been dating this guy. She's about to go on a 3rd date with him. And on the way or wherever, you know, when he comes and picks her up, she's like, hey, my friend just had surgery. Can I take this meal over to my friend's house? So when she goes to her friend's house, there are 2 people there that she doesn't recognize. One of those is King and King's sister. And when they walk in, they see her date, and the sister loses her mind because Savannah's date is King's sister's husband. So later that night, she realizes she left her keys with the date, and she goes to his apartment where King is there taking care of the guy for his sister, if you get my drift. And when he realizes that she's seen it, he decides that he's going to take her. She's going to become his wife. She's going to become his captive, because if he forces her to marry him and he just takes her, then she can't testify against him. Problem solved. And then, you know, he might want a baby or 2. You never know. So I love King so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
I like my cover.
You have the hand cover. Yes. Mm-hmm. I like mine just because she's a painter, and that's where the paint came from. I like both, but I do love the hand placement. Yes, I agree with you.
Let's just take a moment.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So my next one is called As If I Wouldn't Fall by Jessa Kane. This is Flint and Ayla. So Ayla has a car that has sentimental value to her and she damages it. So she takes it to Flint, who works at the local garage. They're both seniors in high school, but that's where they work. And he's like, I'll fix it, my angel, don't worry. And she's like, you're like oddly obsessed with me already, but okay. She kind of is here for it. It's a little odd how gung-ho they are with each other. So very insta love. And he just had like, they're seniors in high school, but we're just going to go with this. Okay. He has like this desire to claim her, breed her, and keep breeding her. And he's very focused on the task at hand. It also has a very sweet side to the story as well. So while there is definitely this kink in the book, there's a good plot with a very sweet side to Flint. It is not just claim her and breed her. He truly loves her.
I need plot like that. None of these books are just breeder. I need that plot. I got to have plot. So for my last book, I had to go to the queen of all breeding books. And again, I am going to say it's BJ Alpha because we've already discovered that. So this is a part of her Secrets and Lies series. This is book 4. You don't have to read them in order. Finn, the one that's before this, is also really heavy on the breeding. But this is Bryn. And in Bryn's book, he meets Sky, and it's kind of set up in other books, but you don't have to. Like, you really don't have to read them in order, but you get more benefit if you do. But Sky has been raised like in a cult, and she was kidnapped really young. She was raised in, like, they kind of refer to it as a cult, but she was raised knowing that at some point she would be sold. And then she would have to please her master. So she's been completely brainwashed. And so in the beginning of this book, they find her and she immediately, there's something like she just clings to Bryn. And so she believes she's 21. He is 40. So this is quite the age gap. And he takes her home, and there's a lot of things happening here because, she was in this cult. Let me tell you guys, the dirty talk is next level. This is the one that I say I swear got me pregnant. Like, Bryn is all about breeding, all about the breeding. And but there is, obviously you can tell there is a plot. This has that subplot of, like, not the subplot, it is the plot of her being trafficked and all that good stuff. So she does have some stuff like some trauma and whatever, but I literally wrote in my book, holy crap, on a Christmas cracker. I was reading this just before Christmas because it was hot. It was awesome. So, Bryn. Okay.
Christmas cracker. All right.
Cracker.
You have the weirdest sayings sometimes.
Why you love me.
Yes, that's the only reason.
Oh, yeah, the only. Okay. What's your last book? Okay.
So my next book is like one of my favorite books of 2024, and that is The Pucking Wrong Date by C.R. Jane. So this is Walker's story, and we left off in the last book with Walker declaring to the Circle of Trust that he has a baby mama, and they're like, oh, you do? Are you like, is she excited about the pregnancy? And he's like, oh, she will be when she finds out. So we already know that something is going to be happening in this book based on how that snippet at the end of the other book. So this is about Olivia. Olivia has had just a really, she has a horrible mom and a horrible agent who have forced her into the limelight since she was about 9 years old to sing because she has a beautiful voice. And basically, when she decides she doesn't want to continue on with what they want her to do and she wants some control over her life as she becomes an adult, they drug her and make it look like she is losing her mind so they can gain control over her in every aspect of her life. And so she does the only thing she can, and she refuses to sing, but they continue to control her and treat her horribly in the hopes that she will go back out and make them a lot of money. She goes to a hockey game with her cousin, and that is when Walker sees her in the stands, and he is immediately in love with her. and he wants to take her, and he wants her to have his baby ASAP, and he cannot stop thinking about that. But Walker, like, he is in love with her right away, and he wants to help her have a beautiful life. So he's not just wanting to take her and claim her, like, he wants her to have everything she's ever wanted. And so he truly works to be a very supportive, loving boyfriend while having the desire to knock her up right away. I absolutely loved it. I mean, the circle of trust is going strong in here. There's a lot of texting between R.A. Lincoln and Walker, which is just a highlight for me. Grandma Airways takes place again. There's just so much great stuff about this book. I absolutely love it. And that little bit of a braiding kink just kind of gives Walker his own unique personality in this hockey world that C.R. Jenkins created.
Icing on the cake.
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys. So there are 10 recs for your reading pleasure. No, seriously, there's 10 recs for you guys to jump on. If you haven't read them, go do that because they're full of fun. That's for sure.
Yes. So comment below, is this taboo breeding kink something that you enjoy? Do you want to see more recs like this? Tell us all the things. If you like this, what are some of your favorites in this? Would it be like a subtrope almost?
I think
like
so, yeah.
Taboo, then breeding kink. So tell us all the bookish things in the comments, and make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us. And also don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.